Hello there everyone, your fluffy armchair Admiral Latter is back with some more hot ship action. In today's episode of Lots of Guns, we are going to continue our efforts to finish off the remaining Academy missions that I still haven't even touched. Or basically I've just entered them, designed a ship and basically never even played the mission till the end. So the next one on my list, as you can basically see, is Sing the Cruiser Killer. I've entered that mission, I played it once in this case. I've even designed one of the heavy cruisers, and what I can say is that I believe it is doable with a heavy cruiser armed with 8-inch guns to take down that bad boy. And that is something that I'm going to try to achieve in this episode. So without any further ado, let's head on into the battle. As you can see, I've designed a heavy cruiser armed with 8-inch guns. I got 4 double mounts, 2 on fore end and 2 on back of the ship. There is also extra 3-inch secondary guns mounted next to a superstructure and some 2-inch guns to help defend myself against destroyers. Because I'm not sure if you notice it or not, but mission description says that enemy will eventually have some destroyer screening. So same as player gets I think 4 or 5 destroyers. Enemy also gets 4 or 5 destroyers. So odds are pretty even. I also got a quad torpedo launcher on each side of the ship, by the way. Right. So let's quickly go through build of my ship, because the mission is going to take a bit of time. Displacement is topped at 15,250 tons. I believe that's a fair balance for this mission. It allows me to build a bit more of heavy cruisers, while at the same time keeping the ones that I built within like a reasonable balance in terms of protection versus offense. Top speed is sitting at 32 knots with 2 funnels, many bulkheads, which will give me some fairly good torpedo and flooding protection. It also helps me to put down fires more effectively. I'm using diesel engines because they greatly reduce the weight that engines are using. Obviously, as you are using diesel engines, then oil burners are highly appropriate for that. Induced boilers to bring a bit more effectiveness into play. Auxiliary engine too, so just in case engine gets knocked down, which is highly probable, my heavy cruiser can continue to maneuver and eventually pull out of the fight without being destroyed and remaining as a sitting duck for enemy to take care of. Advanced propeller shafts, again, it gives me ability to repair my engine. The other other bonuses are less important. Obviously, some extra acceleration, turning rate, and max speed penalty and reduced max speed penalty from engine damage is also nice thing to have. But the most important bit is ship repairs. That is plus 10%, which actually makes the engine to be repaired. Crab armor 4. Again, most biggest reason is weight. It greatly reduces the armor weight, which allows me to put more armor, which allows me to put more stuff on my ship. Barbette 3, it is very essential to protect my ship from detonations. I'm already running inferior ship to my enemy, so having that extra bit of protection, extra chance to actually survive encounter is highly beneficial. Again, anti-torp 2, some basic torpedo protection is highly well needed, because I will be facing some destroyers, and those are not going to be like a low-level destroyers. We are talking about probably like 1930s to 1940s battle, considering what I have installed on my ship. So I could expect enemy to have even 24-inch torpedoes, and they will really pack a punch, especially on heavy cruiser. Single hull bottom, unfortunately that's a sacrifice I had to take, so if I get hit, it's gonna hurt. Reinforced bulkheads 2, again, extra protection against fires and floodings. Anti-flood 2, so I got ability to pump out water from partially flooded compartment. And turtleback armor scheme, so I got that extra layers of protection. I'm using heavy shells because enemy will be much bigger than me, and potentially it may have bigger armor, so that 8-inch guns needs to be able to pack a punch. I could go with super heavy, but that's actually increases chance of ammo detonation pretty great. I might give it a shot though. Wait, am I able to actually reduce my protection to the point where I'm able to... Okay, Belt Extended has given me that extra. Okay, I can protect conning tower a little bit better, and I'm gonna need that conning tower to work. Right, so I'm going to run this mission on super heavy shells, but don't blame me if I'm going to blow up. Anyway, yeah, that's gonna be interesting. This way that 8-inch shells will effectively pack a punch as standard, probably like 10, maybe 11-inch guns, which is pretty good. It's like a unnatural way to upscale your ammo. I'm also running increased ammo on my ships, so that those very ineffective guns will eventually have more and more chances to hit and cause some serious damage. I'm taking standard torpedo load. Let's face it, those torpedo launchers are taking 16 ammunition per launcher, which should give me fairly good ammo reserve of 32, because I have 2 of them. I'm also running a coincidence rangefinder, because it seems to be a bit more effective for 8-inch guns than stereoscopic rangefinder, which relies on range. And obviously I'm not going to go into long range encounter with 8-inch guns. We are talking about effective engagement distance of between like 8 to 12 kilometers. So I need to fit within that zone to actually be able to effectively engage with the enemy. And the scary thing is that if enemy is going to retaliate, if he's going to have like 12-13-inch guns, then I'm a bit doomed if he's gonna have a good accuracy. So yeah, I really need to pack a punch and hope for some crippling shots early on to be able to keep on fighting. I also run radar, which again is increasing my gun aiming speed, gun long range accuracy, and it reduces accuracy penalty during night. Not that we will ever have a night time in this build of the game, because it just doesn't exist. That's basically it when it comes to builds. In terms of armor, I'm pretty heavily armored, to be fair. I got 10-inch belt, 10.1 inch conning tower, 10-inch turret. The rest sits somewhere between 5-inch and 1.5 inch at the least. Right, and that should be enough in terms of talking about the build. So without any further ado, let's start the mission. So as the mission loads, I would like to remind you that if you like the video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, which is really helping my channel to grow. So that every single subscription is helping me a lot without actually directly giving me some benefits. It doesn't cost you guys anything. So if you can, if you like the video, just press that subscribe button. There are plenty places on that video where you can hit the subscribe button, so just do it. You are really going to help that channel to grow. Also, if you want to get informed about my new content, hit that bell button, set it up for all notifications so that you won't miss any future uploads and content that I create. And finally, don't forget to leave your comments down below the video. Tell me about your thoughts, tell me about your experiences with the video. I'm really happy to hear all of your opinions. Alright, so the mission is loaded. Let's begin the battle. So at the very beginning, as always, I am going to do some modifications to my setup. First of all, I will change my course, so I am going to head on to enemy. I will also split all my cruisers into their own separate divisions. I will leave DDs on AI control. I really don't need to take control of it myself. And that's basically it. That should give me a fair control over my vessels. I will turn off the torpedoes for now, because I really don't want to fire them at enemy destroyers by accident, because that would be a great waste. I can eventually put the time compression as we are approaching the battle area. So the main plan is going to be to occupy enemy with my DDs, and as enemy is trying to fight with my DDs, I will do a quick approach with my cruisers, fire all the torpedo load I can fire, and hope for some great results on enemy. That's the plan number one. Plan number two is to leave destroyers to actually attack the enemy battlecruiser and get rid of enemy destroyers using my cruisers, which would be quite risky action, but if it succeeds, I might see some good results, especially that my DDs are having some torpedoes on board. I'm not sure what size of torpedoes are those. Okay, enemy has opened fire at my cruisers. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Those shots are landing dangerously close to my vessel. Right, Abomination is opening up fire of her own. Okay, as long as I'm maneuvering, I should be able to reasonably be able to avoid enemy shots. I managed to identify her at 55% already. Oh dear. Those shots are landing really close, which means that enemy might be running some sort of crazy design. Okay, my ships have automatically used HE shells, which probably means that enemy has some serious and heavy armor. That is really not helping. Right, I scored some first hits. The one thing I really don't like is that my destroyers have detached pretty badly, which means that I am closing the distance to enemy that is actually firing back at my cruisers, which now have started to use AP shells. Yeah, I really don't want to. Okay, I destroyed torpedo, which is good. I will set torpedoes on Abomination to actually fire, and they were launched, however not at the target that I expected them to be launched, which is not so good. Okay, enemy Strasbourg, 15-inch guns. That's pretty much heavy guns. Thankfully she has only 6 of them, but that is still not something I would like to see. Oh dear. She's gonna hit Abomination. Oh yeah. Ouch. That is not good. Right. I might pull out of the fight. I will slow down Lippe and change her target to Vautour. I will angle out with Abomination so that she can carry on. Alright, my destroyers are about to close the distance to enemy. So all I need to do is to get rid of enemy destroyers. Right, enemy switched fire to attack. Okay. Okay, first torpedo hits have been scored, or rather, single torpedo hit for now. It is really helping. Okay, it appears that this might be a good idea. I will cripple enemy using destroyers, while at the same time I will use my cruisers to actually get rid of enemy destroyers, while my destroyers are... Yeah, they are doing pretty good job in attacking this battle cruiser. Oh dear, Seydlitz is about to get hit by enemy torpedoes. Can I avoid them? Not every one of them, but oh dear. Abomination, you need to stop. Okay, you did it. That is not good. That is really not good. Right, enemy destroyers have actually scored some good hits on me. Enemy battle cruiser is on the run. That is not good. Okay. It appears that enemy has pretty stealthy torpedoes. I'm hoping that Abomination and Seydlitz will soon fix her engines, so that I can continue to fight. I will switch fire onto enemy destroyers. Oh dear. Yeah, my cruisers are very much grouped, and they are not in the best shape. Right. Strasbourg has pulled out of the fight to avoid getting into battle with those destroyers. My destroyers got into engagement with enemy destroyers. I will have to set my guns to aggressive to actually start engaging enemy DDs. However, doesn't appear to be super effective against enemy destroyers. Okay, I scored one hit. However, Seydlitz is now in pretty bad shape. Lippe is also... oh dear. Right, Seydlitz just took massive hit from enemy destroyers, and she is most likely going down. Is she? I'm hoping not. Come on, Seydlitz, you can do it. You can pump out the water. Do you? She is still flooding, but I believe I can pump out the water. The problem is that enemy keeps firing torpedoes at me. I did sink one of them, but two of my cruisers are basically mortally crippled. Yeah, there's quite a lot of enemy torpedoes coming in my direction. There's more torpedoes there. Wow. Okay, it appears that Seydlitz might be saved. Yeah. But enemy is having too many torpedoes. And I can't really hit. Oh dear, I left Abomination on torpedoes. Right, I need to move Seydlitz so that she is not a sitting duck. Okay, I scored another hit on enemy destroyer. However, enemy battlecruiser is trying to re-engage my cruisers. Which doesn't seem to be good. Right. One of my destroyers just got hit, but she managed to fire her own torpedoes. Hopefully that is going to help me. If I could switch target to Strasbourg. And set my torpedoes to aggressive. If I could actually hit her with those. Come on, Seydlitz. I know you can fire those torpedoes right about now. Good. I am hoping that Strasbourg will fall into my trap and get hit by those torpedoes. If she does, I might eventually be able to damage her engine. Okay, Abomination. I need to turn my fleet around. Okay, torpedoes are going in the right direction towards Strasbourg, and she is hopefully going to take some. If I'm going to score some lucky hits and disable her engine, that would make the odds even. Because right now, they are not. Right, I am going to re-engage with my cruisers. And hope for the best. Those torpedoes are really, really tough. And they really hurt. Okay. I'm not doing the great deal of damage on the enemy. How is this looking? Right. It appears that I might actually hit her with at least one of my torpedoes. Yeah, one torpedo is going to hit midship. Okay. Good. I will slow down with Lippe to avoid being hit by that torpedo. Then I'm going to turn, get ahead of the enemy. What's the maximum speed of? Yeah, Strasbourg is sitting at 33 knots top speed. Which is not not the worst. She just fired a torpedo, which I managed to spot from far away. Okay. That torpedo hit that we've scored really did some serious damage to her. However, I can't fully rely on just the torpedo damage, unfortunately. And Seydlitz is being fired upon. Which is... oh dear, oh dear. Yeah, another of my destroyers just got badly damaged and sunk by the enemy. Strasbourg is slightly pulling away of the engagement, which is not really helping, but I do score some hits. I did destroy torpedoes on her, and if I could just score some more good hits on Strasbourg, that is definitely going to help me. Unfortunately, my AP are not doing a great deal of damage. So what I can do is to set Seydlitz to HE and see if I can deal some extra HE damage on Strasbourg. Maybe I can destroy her main tower, which would really greatly help me to deal with that issue. DDV2 is engaging with enemy destroyers, but they seem to have an upper hand. Seydlitz is still engaging with Strasbourg. I've set some fires, which is very good. All of my cruisers are still alive, however Strasbourg seems to be pulling out of the fight. And it's only Lippe that can actually effectively chase after her, which is not really good. Yeah. I really can't penetrate Strasbourg's armor too well. So I really have to rely on some lucky shots. Right, Abomination, you have to engage with Strasbourg. Aggressive HE. There we go. Thankfully, engine on Strasbourg is damaged, at least one of them. However, 11.4 kilometers and moving away is not really helping me. That will eventually lead to a situation where Strasbourg is going to run away from my effective engagement range. I do score some heavy hits on her, however. So if I can damage her engine even further, or score some more of those juicy HE shots, that might really help me a lot. She is on fire, and she is constantly losing some health. But that's really not enough. Right, enemy DDs are far away from me, which is really helping me. But unless Strasbourg decides to turn her side towards me, I might not be able to carry on with this engagement. She's not having a great deal of ammunition, right? She turned her attention towards Lippe. That was a ranging shot that I really don't want to hit. I'm not that scared of 8-inch guns on Strasbourg, but I'm much more scared about those 15-inch guns, because they will deal a great damage to me. So yeah, I now switched ammunition to HE for all of my ships. I'm still not using wait, what is that? 3.4, 82%. Okay. Strasbourg is not fully aimed at me. That's a good thing. So her accuracy is really off. But that still doesn't change the fact that she may score a lucky hit on me. And with that said, that might turn into really bad situation. I managed to further reduce her health, but it's not by a large margin, and my HE shells are not as effective as I expected them to be, in fact. Right, good thing is that enemy doesn't have accuracy to deal with me, while I do have 22% chance to actually hit. Okay, Strasbourg is now fully locked, so I need to start maneuvering. She's at 12 kilometer. Oh dear. Right, her 8-inch guns have just scored a hit. I need to keep maneuvering and keep my distance at least until she runs out of her heavy shells. Come on, 57%. Oh dear, that was a belt shot. If that would go through. Oh yeah, that went through. Yeah, Strasbourg seems to have some accuracy bonus with 3% chance to hit. I'm really surprised that she's still scoring such a good shot on Lippe. And Lippe's accuracy is down to just few percent because I got hit. Oh dear. Yeah, the best scenario for me would be if Strasbourg would run out of ammunition for 15 and 8-inch guns, because then I could definitely reduce the distance between those ships and try to perform some torpedo attacks on her. Unfortunately, yeah, my fleet is falling behind because enemy is again in effective road, and I just can't hit her hard enough to eventually deal a great deal of damage. Thankfully, Lippe is still able to continue engagement, which is very good. Unfortunately, both Seydlitz and Abomination are out of the fight, because there's no chance on heaven and earth that I am going to slow down Strasbourg that low to allow Abomination and Seydlitz to actually catch up. I really hate that game mechanics. That's that makes the enemy to actually pull out of the fight and straight just run away. That is really not helping both me and anyone. I got 2 hours to catch up with enemy. I'm not sure how am I going to deal with that. Even though enemy has damaged funnels, even though enemy has damaged secondary tower, I'm just not able to deal enough damage to her to actually cause her to sink. I might try to catch her with destroyers, which is one of the things that I will definitely do. But it's another like a pointless fight at some point. Just because enemy is outright running and decides to pull out of the fight while being on 50% structure. I could understand that enemy starts to run while being on like 30%. Yeah, that would eventually be a good thing, but yeah, but Strasbourg started to run when she was at like 60%, and that's way too much. I mean, a mission that requires you to sink a cruiser killer needs to be doable, and that makes this mission not exactly doable, because enemy will just run forever, which is not really greatest thing to do. Right, anyway. I do have my destroyers, so I am hoping to actually deal some destroyer damage or torpedo damage on Strasbourg, and if I could hit her with some torpedoes, that would really help me a lot, because this way I can catch up with her using some heavier vessel and eventually get rid of rest of her health. If I could damage another engine, that would really help me a lot. But I reckon that is not going to happen. Yeah. Strasbourg is again on fire. I'm scoring some hits, which is well, promising. But it's not enough, definitely. Definitely it's far away from being enough. Strasbourg is continuously running away. My destroyers are, however, getting closer, so I might soon see some torpedoes being fired at her. I keep damaging her funnels. I destroyed main tower, which is going to help me a lot in my efforts, mostly because right now accuracy of Strasbourg's guns should stay at around 1%, which is still more than I would like to. Okay, my destroyers started to pepper Strasbourg. Hopefully her guns will remain silent. She is on fire, she's down to 52%, but that's still not enough. Okay, she is still on fire. She now runs away from destroyers. Okay, I might eventually try to pull it off. I would like destroyers to save torpedoes. Okay, if I can catch her and fire a short-range torpedo attack, that might eventually work. What I'm mostly afraid about at this point is that she is going to open up on me really soon, and that this is going to be like a lethal salvo or something. If Lippe is going down, then that mission is not going to be successful at all. Right, anyway, for now it is looking really good. All I need is engine damage on Strasbourg. If I can achieve that, then I might eventually be able to deal with her. Come on, Lippe, you can do it. I am scoring a better and better hits. Strasbourg is down to 50%. Okay. I destroyed another funnel. I've set some more fires. I got 30% chance to penetrate. I will set ammunition to automatic, which is effectively going to change it to AP. I am hoping that Strasbourg will soon... Yeah. Okay, I am damaging main guns right now. I destroyed secondary gun. I damaged funnel. Okay, I destroyed torpedo. She is holding fire, which is good. I will soon fire my torpedoes from Lippe. In fact, I can do it now. Torpedoes on the way. If I can damage another of her engines, I might be successful. I caused flooding. Okay, structure is down to 40%. I think Strasbourg started to retaliate, and she now starts to aim at me. She turns away, which means that she is going to avoid torpedoes. But DDs have caught up with her. Which means that she is now in a very bad shape. 32%. Okay, she is badly damaged. And DDs are at very close range. Oh dear. Okay, torpedoes are out. Hopefully she won't be able to avoid them. Yeah, it looks really, really, really good. She's gonna take them. Oh yes, like hell, she's gonna take them all. Ah, that was beautiful. Okay, she launched her own torpedo attack in retaliation. DDV4 is badly damaged. Yeah. Okay, but Strasbourg is down to 6%. And she is flooding. So that might be a game changer right now. That really appears to be a game changer. That suicidal DD attack has probably won me the game. Wow. 5%, 11% floatability, and she is getting heavily battered by my remaining cruiser. 4% structure. One last destroyer, which is V2, is chasing Strasbourg. She is on fire, she is flooding. We damaged her really, really, really bad. And there is more torpedoes in the water. So there is a high chance that she's gonna take one more torpedo that will put her down in her misery. 3%, 11% floatability. We now reduced her to 2%. Yeah, she is most likely going down. We score so many hits on her right now that it's basically virtually impossible for her to survive that. I'm going to order DD to fire a torpedo attack. Okay, torpedo attack is on the way. Strasbourg is sinking, and that's the mission completed. I have to admit, ladies and gentlemen, that if I would be using only, and I'm gonna repeat that, if I would be using only heavy cruisers, I would have lost. There is no chance that I could win against battle cruiser that is armed with 15-inch guns with a decent accuracy, because as you could see, my 8-inch guns were absolutely ineffective, even though I had heavy shells, even though I had pretty good accuracy, even though I've been a bit superior in terms of tactical awareness and stuff. I would have still lost to this ship, especially that she started to run. If she would keep engaging me, I could have scored some lucky hits on her, and eventually maybe hit her with some more of my stealthy torpedoes that were planned to be used that way. So I could launch long-range stealthy attack that will actually cripple engines of my enemy. So if I wouldn't have that one DD that managed to sneak really, really close, and if I wouldn't switch those torpedoes to aggressive at the right time, I would have lost this battle. So it was not that much one-sided as it could have been if some mistakes and some, let's say, lucky elements, or if some luck wouldn't be in play. Let me know what you think in the comments down below the video. I would like to thank you very much for watching. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. In order to support my channel, please subscribe to it. It really helps me. Like, it's a passive great help to this channel to let it grow. So subscribe, and if you want to get informed about my new uploads, hit that notification bell button, set it for all notifications so you won't miss out on any content that I create and upload to YouTube. So I am still waiting for your comments down below the video. Have a great day and see you all later. Latur, out.